Okay, so we're gonna start off with a very unique tuna, zucchini, and eggplant lasagna recipe. Sounds complicated? Think again. It's actually quite simple. So I'm gonna start off with introducing the ingredients needed for this recipe, beginning with our olive oil. Next to that, we have our white onions, our garlic paste, shredded carrots, crushed tomatoes, tomato sauce. I have my freshly made brown beef stock, dried oregano leaves, a chiffonade of fresh basil leaves. For my cheese mixture, I have whole eggs. I have ricotta cheese. If you can't find ricotta cheese, you can substitute it with cottage cheese or white goat cheese. Next to that, I have freshly grated Parmesan cheese, minced fresh parsley, brown rice. So my brown rice is half cooked. Okay, next we have our slivers or slices of zucchini and eggplant, which has been pre-fried already. I have my tuna. I'm using canned tuna. If you want to use fresh tuna, that's fine. And last but not the least, grated mozzarella cheese. Okay, so our oil is hot. I'm now going to be adding my minced white onions. All right, so I'm going to be sauteing this for roughly about 1 to 2 minutes on medium to high flame. Okay, so it's been 24 minutes exactly. Now, as you can see, the onions are now in a stage where it's turning into a deep golden color, even. Okay, very important that the color has to be very even. Which means you want to stir it from time to time. Every after 4 to 6 minutes, keep an eye on it. Don't leave it unattended because you want an even, deep golden color. So at this stage, you can actually smell the sweetness, the aroma from the onions. So at this point, I'm gonna turn my heat up high. Then I'm now gonna be adding the garlic and the shredded carrots. So I'm gonna be adding my garlic paste and my freshly grated or shredded carrots. Okay, so I'm gonna mix this all up, sauteing it. All right, so at this stage, I'm now gonna be adding my crushed tomatoes, giving it a nice stir. Okay, my tomato sauce. Okay, and my beef stock. There you go. So I'm gonna give this a nice mix, making sure we stir everything up. Now, as you can see, our sauce has significantly reduced. So at this stage, I'm now gonna be adding my freshly chopped chiffonade of basil. And of course, we're gonna season it to taste with iodized salt and ground black pepper. So I'm gonna give this a nice mix. So I have here with me Chef Amadeo Cacho, or Deo for short. Chef Deo will be assisting me with assembling the lasagna. So I'm now gonna move this over to his section right there. Now we start assembling the lasagna. So we're gonna start off, let me explain the process first. Chef Deo will start off by putting a layer of brown rice at the bottom of the pan. Okay, then after that, he's gonna be putting the fried slices of zucchini on top. And then he's gonna go on with the sauce, the cheese mixture, the tuna, the mozzarella cheese. All right, then he's gonna repeat the process, alternating zucchini and eggplant. All right, so Chef, go ahead. While Chef Deo is doing that, I will quickly make our egg and cheese mixture. So our egg and cheese mixture is composed of our whole egg. Okay, we have here cottage cheese. So if you don't have cottage, ricotta is fine. If you don't have ricotta, white goat cheese will do nicely. Okay, I have here my freshly grated Parmesan cheese and minced parsley. I'm gonna be adding all that, and I'm gonna be giving it a nice stir. So you're gonna come up with a very thick, there you go, so you can see, a very thick egg cheese mixture. Okay, so Chef Deo is pressing firmly on the rice layer. Chef now will be adding the zucchini slices on top of the brown rice. There you go. Now, notice that Chef Deo is arranging the zucchini slices on one direction. All right? Reason being is when we add the eggplant later on, we want to crisscross. Okay? One is vertical, one is horizontal. All right. So, after adding the layer of zucchini, we're now going to be adding a layer of the sauce. There you go. So we're gonna be a little more, Chef. Spreading a thin layer of the sauce. So we want to be sure that you have an even layer covering all the edges, all the corners. Okay, that's good enough, Chef. All right. After this, we're now gonna be adding the egg and cheese mixture. Okay, I'm going to be spreading it along with the sauce. There you go. Okay, and then Chef Deo will continue with adding the tuna. So again, we're using canned tuna. If you want to use fresh tuna, that's fine. But there really is no need. Canned tuna will do. Just be sure you drain it. There you go. So we want to make sure that you have a generous amount of the tuna fillet. Okay, so after that, we're now going to be adding the grated mozzarella cheese. So the mozzarella cheese will actually act as a binding agent. So mozzarella cheese is a high melt cheese. When we bake that in the oven, the cheese will melt and it will bond the layers together. So that's exactly what we want to happen. If you don't have mozzarella cheese, you can use any high melt cheese, quick melt, Asiago, okay, or any high melt cheese that you prefer. Okay, there you go. So as you can see Chef Deo, he evenly distributed the mozzarella cheese. Now he's going to be adding the fried eggplant slices using the vertical, Chef, that way. Okay, there you go. Okay, so notice that we're now adding the eggplant in a vertical way. So instead of your usual pasta noodles, this recipe uses the zucchini and the eggplant as your noodles. Again, an even layer of the eggplant slices. Now take note, again, the eggplant slices and the zucchini slices have been pre-fried already. Okay, there you go. Then we repeat the process. We're going to be adding another thin layer of the sauce. Okay, so at this point, we're not going to be adding the mozzarella cheese yet. We want to pre-bake this already in a preheated oven. I'm now going to cover this with aluminum foil. I'm going to pop this in a preheated oven for about 20 minutes. Okay, we're going to pre-bake that for about 20 minutes in a preheated oven. And then after that, we're going to bring it out and then we're going to spread the final layer of mozzarella cheese on top and then bring it back to the oven uncovered to brown the cheese on the surface, right? So we'll be back in a while. Okay, we're back. So it's been 20 minutes. So now we're gonna be careful, it's quite hot. Very hot. Okay, so we're now gonna be adding the final layer of the mozzarella cheese. Again, if you don't have mozzarella, you can use any high melt cheese, quick melt, okay, or similar melting cheeses. Okay, so we're gonna be adding that generous layer. And I'm also gonna be adding my leftover egg and cheese mixture. Okay, I'll let Chef Deo finish the mozzarella first. There you go. Then I'm gonna be adding my leftover egg and cheese mixture. Okay, then I'm gonna be spreading that generously and evenly. Okay, then we're gonna bring this back to the oven, uncovered, no aluminum foil, for about 15 to 20 minutes. Because what we want to happen is we want to create a nice medium golden brown color on the cheese. Okay, so again, we bring this back to the oven and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. So it's been another 20 minutes. As you can see, we have the lasagna right here. Nice, deep golden brown color. We've removed it from the pan already. So now Chef Deo is going to be slicing it and we're going to be serving it on a plate. So ideally, you'd want to let this set. Go ahead, Chef. You'd want to let this set fresh off the oven for at least 6 hours. Okay, overnight, better. Keep it in the chiller. And then the following day, remove it from the chiller, pop it in the oven for 10 minutes just to warm it up, 10-15 minutes. Then proceed with slicing. That way you allow the mixture to set, and when you cut it up, you'll have a nice firm lasagna slice. No, if you slice it fresh off the oven, tendency is you'll end up with a not so firm lasagna, and everything will pretty much fall apart.